Help us, Rob.
I got nothing on either one of those topics. And if you're going to come to me for help with this forecast, man, it is a complicated one. Let me show you a couple things. Let's kind of start out with the basics. Bitter cold for almost the entire day tomorrow. It's going to start dropping tonight. We're going to stay cold all through Friday. Then a couple of waves of snow. The first one has a little bit of a question mark. I'll get to that in a second. Sunday, we know it's going to snow. Almost positive that we'll see some snow, heavy at times. And then the bitter cold will stay with us, depending on how much snow cover we have on the ground. We're talking about lows tonight down in the single digits. Wind chills will be a concern the entire day, likely below zero. For wave one, we're not as confident here. And the big question that I'm going to get into is this cold versus snow. Wave two, we have a higher confidence. This is going to be a prolonged snow. That's why we're expecting the bulk of the snow to happen there. And then again, depending on how much snow is on the ground, that will depend on how cold our temperatures are. The system that we're watching is just now coming on shore. And I mentioned this yesterday. Once it does, we'll see more sampling. That information will go into the computer models and give us a better focus on the forecast. But I think we're starting to see things come into focus. Here's that first system on Saturday. We don't have high confidence in this part of the forecast because the question is how much of the cold air will eat into some of that snow. Will it be too dry for the snow to actually make it to the surface? A lot of questions there, but I do think that by the time we get into Sunday, this is when the bulk of the snow is going to fall, and it will likely fall just about the entire day, maybe wrapping up sometime very early on Monday morning. This is the map we've been showing you. I still think we're even conservative at times on part of this map, 6 to 10, but those numbers go up the farther south you go. You go north from Indy and those numbers go down. But let's say you're either a snow lover or a snow hater and you want to change this map. The questions that I still have as the meteorologist are, how is the storm path going to change this? Those cold temperatures I mentioned, and also that Saturday first wave that may be a bit of a change. So if it goes north, it will increase the snow because we'll be closer to that heaviest band. And if it goes south, we could certainly decrease the snow amount. The cold temperatures are going to have a role here too, and that's because when air is much colder, you have higher snow ratios. The snow is fluffier, it's powderier, if that's a word. Increase the snow chance if it's a little bit more powdery, and less moisture in the cold air will actually decrease the amount. This is the concern for Saturday. We could see several more hours of snow, which would add to those totals, but if it fizzles because that dry air is in place, it's certainly going to lower those amounts. So let me show you the 7-day forecast, and I want to make sure I get a good bit of time here because we do expect that wind chills are going to be down below zero for the entire day on Friday. Saturday, we'll see still bitter cold temperatures in the morning, but then we'll add snow into the mix, and that will carry us into your Sunday. I think Sunday is going to snow the entire day, and travel is going to be almost impossible, especially in southern Indiana, but even for areas north of Indy. And then Monday, we still expect the bitter cold in place, depending on how much snowpack is on the ground. Look at this. The entire 7-day forecast is below freezing and looks to stay that way through the end of next week. Stay with us.